Crunchy Mom and Doubting Dad, episode 57. We're back in the car again. I think we've found our groove to get these pumped out to you in a timely manner. And
pumped out sounds like we don't put any thought into it, which we don't. But yeah, well, I mean, everywhere you go in Oklahoma, it's a half hour. That's just how it is.
Or a little longer.
Yeah, well, yeah, sometimes a little longer, but yeah, for the most part, it's like, oh, we got to go to this store, half hour. Oh, we got to go to that store, half hour.
So
go to the gun shop, 45 minutes.
So we just figured that we would do a podcast in the car.
Yeah, take advantage of it.
So we thought we would do a shorter podcast on alcohol. Please excuse our children.
Sorry.
They're gonna argue probably during this podcast. Alcohol has kind of been on the forefront for me, just
Ain't
because.
That the truth? You know it was coming because of the whole. Come on. I have always made those jokes. Those are classics for me.
It's his go-to. Wonder if he has any new material.
You getting your hand sanitizer at your first game?
No, I'm actually getting blinded by this light here. So I'm gonna take these off. I'm gonna put my sunglasses on. There
Okay,
we go.
go ahead. Ruin alcohol for everyone.
I'm gonna ruin alcohol for everybody, and I'm really sorry. But it's been at the forefront because we've had some people that are close to us and friends who have people that are close to them that have been going through a lot when it comes to alcoholism. My personal story with it is really close to home, and I have family members who have dealt with alcoholism on my mother's side, and have never really gotten past it. Some have passed away because of liver failure, and I was always told growing up to be careful how much you allow yourself to drink, Katie, because you come from a family of alcoholics, and on both sides, and that there's addictive personalities in my family. I guess that's a nice way to put it, is what I was told growing up.
Yeah, I think they've like done the science on that as far as it being hereditary, like some type of gene that compels you to not be able to stop.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like directly hereditary, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, my dad's an alcoholic, so I'm going to be one. Like, I don't believe that, but
I don't either.
But I think that I think you do pass down tendencies to your kid, but I believe more that it's I think it's more environmental. That's my take on it, and I'm not a scientist, but that would be my guess. I think it's more related to like tobacco abuse or something like that. Do I do it because I'm predisposed to being addicted to a substance, or do I do it because my dad always had a cigarette in his mouth, or my uncle always had a chew in his lip, or you know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
My brother's always chewed, or whatever. You know, like I think that's more environmental influence, and I think that's typically what it is, because you could take the sweetest, nicest, most genuine little school librarian in the world that's never had a cigarette and shoot her up with heroin 3 times and see what happens. Guess what? She's going to be addicted to heroin. Like, for the most part. Like, and that's just it. I believe it's given the chance to take something that's addictive. Yeah, you might genetically be, a little bit more likely to be addicted, but at the end of the day, they're addictive substances. It doesn't matter who you are. I've known plenty of people that were lawyers or doctors or, super smart or this or that or whatever, like successful people that did cocaine, that did methamphetamines, that, you know what I mean, like smoke pot like a freaking chimney. It affects everybody. Oh, and I know, pot's not addictive. Well, the hell it isn't. It's as addictive, in my opinion, as any other type of lifestyle drug, which I would categorize alcohol with that. Because there's people that we would call functioning alcoholics that they would say, oh, I'm just a social drinker. Oh, I just smoke pot on the weekends or whatever. Well, I'm like, yeah, but if you do it every single weekend, then it's probably an addiction. That's my 2 cents. Why am I talking all the time? This was you ruining alcohol for people.
Well, you just helped me, so there's that. I started looking into it more just because we started to get more natural. And alcohol's a stimulant. Alcohol, dulls your senses. It makes some
it's
people.
a depressant, isn't it? Alcohol?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's a depressant.
Sorry, my bad.
I thought it was. I could be wrong.
Well, it affects people. I'll say it this way: it affects people in different ways.
Oh, absolutely. It stimulates me. I stay up all night and talk.
Drives me nuts. I can't stand it.
Katie, you want to talk about this? Katie, what if? Katie, what if?
And I literally hold myself back from choking him to death because all I want to do is sleep. Some people make super depressive. I've been around people when they get too drunk that they are crying, and boo-hoo me. I know angry drunks.
I only boo-hoo me when you tell me to shut up.
Yeah, then he gets all,
and I'm like, fine. Nobody ever wants to talk to me.
No. So I started looking into it more and more a few years ago, and listening to all the different research and listening to people, because when I have brought alcohol up in conversations, people will be like, oh my gosh, no, actually red wine is really good for you and it helps your blood flow and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. A lot of antioxidants.
Coffee has a lot of antioxidants. I heard a cup of coffee has the same amount of antioxidants as a cup of blueberries, believe it or not.
Really?
I still don't like coffee, but anyway.
When I look back on these conversations that I was telling you about just now, I have found that the people that defend alcohol are the people that drink every day, are the people that have that glass of wine when they get home, are the people that have to have that vodka cran when they get home from work because it's just been such a hard day. And my mindset has completely changed on it. And please don't think that I'm like hoity-toity on my soapbox and that I've never had alcohol, because that's not the truth. Jeff and I drank like fish when we first met and were dating. When I turned 21, we were always out with my girlfriends and going to the different bars downtown and bar hopping and dancing and having a good time. And I don't cringe on it, but I think, oh my gosh, look at how much alcohol we were consuming every weekend. Every weekend in my early 20s, it was like, where are we going to drink? That was the norm. And quite frankly, the research that I've done on it and listening to certain podcasts that I've found and that friends have sent me, I just don't want to be around it, like, ever. It doesn't bother me. I think having a drink or two every once in a while, I don't think that that's a bad thing. I still do that, but to drink every weekend or to come home from a hard day of work and say, oh my gosh, it was such a hard day at work, I need a drink. I don't want that in my household, because I don't want that to be normal for my children. There are other ways to decompress from a stressful day at work. Work this last week was on steroids for me, stressful. There was a lot going on, and that day that it hit its peak, I came home and Jeff kind of gave me crap because he was like, I worked all day too, I don't want to go for another walk. Like, I was up and walking around, but he is a gracious, good husband to me, so he went for a walk with me. We went to the park and we took the dog and we took Lucas. We had already dropped Jackson off at youth group, and we went and walked for 20-25 minutes, and it helped me. It calmed me down. It was good breathing in fresh air. Maybe go have a 20-minute exercise session. Go sweat out your stress. If you have a sauna, go to the sauna. Go talk to somebody. There are so many different things that you can do to release that stress instead of keeping it inside and just sitting on your butt and having a glass of alcohol, or 2 or 3, or people that go home and drink a whole 6-pack because, well, it's the end of work and this is what I do. It's not healthy for you. They have proven it. It is one of the worst things you can do to release stress. It dulls your senses. It messes with your brain neurons. It makes you stupid. It's not good for your organs. I had mentioned a couple podcasts ago that they have now classified alcohol as a Class A carcinogen.
When did they do that?
I did it a while back.
What the hell does Class A mean? I need more information, Katie.
Well, that's why I pulled this up. One of the natural people that I follow that does way more work, research than I do, posted an alcohol reality check. Alcohol is ethanol. Alcohol is a highly addictive toxic substance. Alcohol is a known carcinogen, specifically a group 1 carcinogen, along with tobacco and asbestos, and is linked to 7 different types of cancers. Alcohol is a depressant that also acts as a stimulant, making it extra horrible for anyone struggling with anxiety or depression.
You ever get so hungover that you like feel guilty the next day even though you didn't do anything wrong?
Yeah.
That was the worst part of drinking, but I drank in excess. I mean, me and my buddy Matt and my buddy Kalen, one night we polished off 3 half gallons between the 3 of us. I don't know how we didn't go to the hospital or
I don't
whatever.
know either.
But we could drink. I mean, everyone talks about, oh my gosh, we could drink. Like, we really, really could drink. And I don't know how we didn't do permanent damage. And maybe we did do permanent damage, but like, I don't know. That's crazy though. But what type of cancers? What should I be on the lookout for, Katie? Because I drank to abundance for many years. They called me and Matt the toxic twins because we're literally wasted everywhere we went all the time.
I know.
But really good times and really funny stories for the ones that I can remember.
Memory loss. There's another one. Don't drink alcohol.
Matt used to. Well, I think he probably still does. I don't know, but he sleepwalks. I guess that's like in the family. Oh man, we're almost out of fuel. That's another funny story. What one do you want? Do you want the funny story about driving, or do you want the funny story about me and Matt in Vegas?
I don't want to hear any stories right now. We were talking about alcohol.
Oh. Well, I'm not glorifying it. I'm just saying that alcohol it makes for some funny stories. All right, fine, whatever. Continue on. I was just curious.
Anyway, I know people that have someone close to them that is currently going through an alcohol detox. Almost killed himself because he decided to quit cold turkey. And when you are a full-fledged alcoholic and you just go cold turkey, that is horrible because your organs stop, and there are many, many other issues that happened for this person in his body, and was in the ICU for a bit. And when I think you hear stories like that, I don't know why you would ever want to drink in excess again, ever, or even daily, or just on the weekends and do what doctors say is binge drinking. Binge drinking and drinking every day and having to drink every day, they're equally the same.
Yeah, I've heard binge drinking is just as bad as being an alcoholic. That's what I was. I was a binge drinker when I was younger. So I was running cranes and drinking like a fish, and then crazy inappropriate story. But there was this girl, and she was like, oh, you have
children in the back.
Okay, but she thought it was like a turn on to like smoke the doobie, and I don't like smoking weed or whatever. But so I was already wasted, and so then I had like a puff or two or whatever, which just like spiraled me like way out of control. When I woke up, I was running a crane. I was swinging a huge truss over the top of a bunch of different people's heads, and I woke up, and I'm like, I knew where I was right back fully conscious. I shut everything down, and I was like, everybody's looking at me from the ground and screaming up and radioing and like, what are you doing? And I'm like, give me a minute. And I just sat there freaking panicked. Last time I ever drank when I ran heavy equipment. Never again. Never drank, never nothing. I would only, and that's why I started binge drinking. I would go to work all week, or if it was all month, whatever, on the road. But like, so if I was like flying home the next day, the work is done, I'd sit down and I'd get a bottle from the bar, and I would just say, that's my bottle, and just serve it all to me, and I would just get absolutely annihilated. That's what I would do, time and time and time again. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
That's why I've always been adamant. If I have work the next day, I never drink. I will never drink alcohol. I'll never touch anything. I won't take a pill. Won't do nothing. Well, I don't like pills anyway. But yeah, that was the, and I was 21 years old probably, something like that. Well, maybe 21, 22, something like that. So yeah, that was it. And I was like, nope, never gonna drink again. Had no idea how I got there. Don't remember driving to work. Oh, it gets worse. When you get into detail of it gets so much worse.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Alcohol, bad.
And binge drinking is just as bad for you. That's the...
So that's where I just, no matter how you look at it, none of it is good for you. And when I started going more holistic and doing things naturally and eating more whole foods and trying our best to get rid of the processed crap, I would get sick just having one or two things of alcohol, like a drink, and be like, nope, my stomach is upset, I'm not doing it. And
yeah, the Prosecco is about the only thing that you can really handle besides like a vodka cran nowadays, isn't it?
That's it. When we went to dinner with friends a couple weeks ago, though, I had a lemon drop.
Oh yeah,
with dinner. And
well, what's that made out of? Is that vodka too, or what is a lemon drop?
Yeah, I think there's vodka in it.
I should know. I would assume it's vodka. It ain't tequila.
No, and then some lemon stuff is in a triple sec.
Oh my gosh, funny story about friggin'. No, never mind. You don't want any more funny stories, do you?
You're gonna talk about the Cosmos that night, aren't you?
No, I wasn't gonna talk about the Cosmos. I was gonna talk about the time that I almost got in a bar fight, and then the guy realized that I was gonna fight him, and then he was one of those guys that like starts crap up until the point of action, and then he was like your best friend and wanted to buy you all the tequila in the world. So I let him buy me all the tequila in the world, and I woke up in a hotel room in downtown Eugene, Oregon, with the door wide open, and my boss standing over me going, "Wake up!" like hitting me in the freaking head, going, "It's time to go, let's go." So anyway, I threw up a lot of Burger King breakfast that morning. Last time I ever ate Burger King breakfast, funny story. I have a lot of last times I did stuff, and they all circulate around an abundance of alcohol. So anyway,
my poster child.
It's a much longer story.
Why
but
you don't drink alcohol?
That's the summary of it.
Anyway.
Oh, I could write a book. Me and my buddy Matt could definitely write a book.
I know you could. Anyway, just going and drinking and having different drinks, again, like, not my cup of tea anymore. But I think that when you are changing your lifestyle and what you're eating, what you're drinking, and you're watching the products that you're putting in your body, I think that your body reacts faster to things that are toxic. And you'll never change my mind that alcohol is toxic. It 100% is a toxin. It completely destroys your body. And I feel really bad for people that have to have a drink every single day. There's a better and a different way to handle your stress, or like if you can't go out and have fun without alcohol, then I think that there's another problem. So
yeah, and if you think you might struggle with some alcohol issues, just do a quick Google search. Like, that's pretty eye-opening.
Yeah.
There's like a whole list of things that I like. I didn't necessarily do it for me. We were doing it for one of your family members or something. And I was like, dude, I wonder what like all the little telltale signs are. It's kind of scary how many different things, you know what I mean? Like how many little things that you just kind of brush over as being a normal part of life that are actually signs of alcoholism. And I'm not saying if you have a drink, you're an alcoholic. I'm not like crazy. I mean, we just got done going out to dinner and having drinks, and we were totally fine. But I will say this though, that like the better I feel health-wise, right? Not that I've been like crazy unhealthy, but like, I don't know, like
the more we're switching stuff.
Yeah, like I put all the crap. I mean, because again, when I drank heavily, man, it was friggin' Tom's Pizza, McDonald's. I mean, that was like my go-to. If I was gonna drink that night, it was a number 7 2 cheeseburger meal, a number 7 no onions with a high C orange drink and a large French fry, and that was like my base. And I would be like, oh, I gotta have that before I go out and drink, because for whatever reason, probably because it's not real food at all, but it'd soak up all the alcohol, and I could find that I drank way longer when I had McDonald's before I drank. I have no idea why. It could have been in my head, but that was my thing. But anyway, my point is like, since I feel like you've gotten us away from all these toxic things and more things like that, like I still feel good when I drink, but it stops. I don't ever, like, I have lost the desire to push it over the edge. Like it used to be, get drunk, maintain that drunk for as long as possible until I fell asleep. And now it's like, I reach that point faster because I don't drink as much as I used to, so I instantly get a buzz almost, right? especially when you're drinking straight bourbon or good bourbon like Booker's, right? And I had 2 drinks, 2 doubles, so four shots or whatever you want to call it, but 2 drinks, 2 doubles. And dude, I felt totally fine. I was happy. I was chipper, got a nice little warm feeling, but I didn't want to go any further. And I don't know if that has an effect on it. It's kind of like what I was talking about in a few podcasts ago, where I don't think that necessarily the person always chases the high, the person chases not feeling the low. And so I think when you feel better, right, when you take that depressant, or when you know what I mean, when you weaken your body, when you slow your body down, when you introduce your body to toxins, maybe, I don't know, I'm spitballing here, help me out, but does that make sense what I'm saying, or
No,
does it not make sense?
I agree, because when I was younger, and then when you and I met, and we were dating, and we were drinking every weekend and during the week too. I mean, we were drinking.
Well, if I was home, we were drinking.
So I like Jeff said, I have no desire either. When we went to dinner with friends, I had the lemon drop, and I thought, I don't know if I want another lemon drop, but I felt like I wanted one more. And when our steaks and everything came for dinner, my friend ordered a glass of wine. I said, you know what, I'll have a glass of Merlot as well. And the small wine glass came, and it was perfect, and I didn't even finish it. And that's not like me either, because I was like, there's alcohol on the table, you finish it, right? Yeah. And I didn't finish that glass of wine because I was content. I was happy. The food came.
Were you the one finishing the King's Cup drink at the end of the night?
Oh my gosh, stop it.
You ever play King's Cup?
Yes.
Oh, that is a gross game.
But yeah, the lemon drop and part of that wine that I had, and I was like, nope, I'm ready to go home. Like, my belly's full, I feel good. It was a nice little sweet that was added to the meal with the alcohol, and I was done too. And again, like, no desire to drink the next day or anything like that. I think once you start filtering stuff out, and I honestly have to say, I think it's knowing the Lord too. I know some of you might be sick of hearing about all of our Jesus talk, but we love Jesus, and he has changed our lives 100%.
Turn the water into wine though, Katie. You're going to get the water into wine.
I know. But my point is that when you're deep into alcoholism and you finally come out of it, I know that that's you making that decision, but I also think that's the Holy Spirit putting on your heart to change your ways, and you're being called to something better. And I have a family member that has gone through that, and they have done a great job of rededicating their life and getting their life in order. And I will be forever grateful to the Lord for not having them go through what my friend's friend is going through with this heavy detox and being in the hospital. I think all the time, like, oh my gosh, that could have been my family member. And I'm grateful that it was not.
That stuff is real though. I always thought it was fake. Like, oh man, like you drink so much that you can't stop drinking, but it's true. We used to have an old driller we worked with. We called it 4:30 shakes. He couldn't do anything after 4:30. He'd start at the crack of dawn drunk, and he'd make it till 4:30, and then he had to have alcohol, or he would physically start shaking, and he couldn't run any equipment. He couldn't do anything. It just shut his body down. So it really is weird how you get super dependent on it.
No, and again, because it's addictive, so your body tells you need to have it, and that's kind of like
I'm gonna get gas. You can keep talking.
That's kind of like our food too. Our food is so addictive that you think you need that McDonald's again, or you think you need. He's just thrown me off because he's gone now because he's getting gas. Or you think you need that candy. Candy is another thing that I think is super addictive because of the dyes and all of the other products and chemicals that they put into it. And you eat and eat and eat, and then you put it away, but then you keep going back to it because, again, it's got those additives in it that make it addictive to you. I view alcohol the same way. Again, not healthy for you, not good for you, and there are no benefits, in my opinion, to alcohol. You would be hard pressed to sit down with me and try to get me to agree with you that alcohol is a benefit to your health. I think people use those excuses and saying that it's beneficial to make it okay for them to continue drinking. And I disagree. It was funny because when we first moved out here, because like I said, we drank throughout that first 6 months of COVID because there was nothing to do. Everything was closed.
Gosh, yeah, we drank a lot.
So we had the margaritas and, you know, we were already kind of going crunchy at that point. I'd already switched out a ton of stuff in the house. We were using plant-based products and we were making sure that we were living healthy that way, but we hadn't really dove into the food aspect of it yet. And when we moved out here, I look back and I laugh and I kind of cringe because we were like, okay, well, we have to find people that will drink with us. Do you remember that?
Out here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, oh,
'Cause we
yeah.
thought, oh, yeah, we're in the Bible Belt, so nobody's gonna
gonna
have a drink
yep.
or a good time.
And it was so funny. I think that was God kind of moving us to a different mindset because we didn't know anybody. We didn't have friends that we had made yet. And I think that when we didn't have those friends and it was just us, we weren't drinking. And that desire, and I think honestly that detox from not drinking really kind of pushed us over into the realm of, yeah, dude, I don't need to drink. I don't need to do this every single weekend. I don't need to do it every day. But like I said, not having those friends that were drinking with us every weekend really did put us into the detox of not having the alcohol anymore. But we have made friends since, and it's nice to go. And when we get together on the weekends and we do stuff with the kids, like, we don't ever drink, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And I've never felt like we needed to or that we shouldn't. Like, you're busy and you're having fun. But then when it's just adults and we're going to dinner or something, like, yes, there's like a drink or two that we have, and that's it, and then we're done. But anyway, I wanted to just talk about alcohol and encourage you that if you've got somebody who's struggling with it, to reach out to them and help them, and maybe do your own research on it and get your own thoughts on it, and give those reasons to those people, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this all the time, or you shouldn't be doing this all the time, and you can come over and we'll hang out and there won't be alcohol here. And just encourage those people to let go of that addiction, and definitely be praying over them, because again, I know we're all dying. Jeff's like, we're all dying, and you know, everything's killing us, right? Well, yes, I agree, but in the same sentence, like, we need to do better. Like, the Lord made our bodies to function a certain way, and there are things of this world that, yes, are nice to indulge in sometimes and have a good time with, but not all the time.
I ate the better part of a brownie fudge cookie thing from Mazio's Pizza last night, and had it again this morning for breakfast. I started Friday at the football game, and I said, this is my cheat day. And then my cheat day turned into my cheat weekend. And we're about to go bowling, and I'm about to get like the biggest thing of tater tots and a pepperoni pizza, even though I just had pizza last night. And maybe some mozzarella sticks and some jalapeno poppers.
Good golly.
Oh yeah, I've gone just completely ape shit on cheat day. It's turned into a cheat weekend, which probably is going to turn into a cheat week. But
this is why I can't eat this stuff. If I didn't have the celiac disease, I'd be joining him, but this is why I think I've lost more weight in the last 2 weeks than Jeff has. Anyway, that's all we have for this episode. Sorry if it was kind of boring and we made you feel like you shouldn't be drinking anymore, but you shouldn't, because it's not good for you. Anyway.
But you can still drink every once in a while. You've ruined alcohol for people. You can't take it all the way away from them.
Well, I didn't say not to do it. I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't be an alcoholic. Definitely shouldn't be an alcoholic. And you shouldn't be drinking every single day and binge drinking on the weekends. It's not good for you. So, anyway, we hope you all have a great day, and we will talk to you later. Bye.